Hey everybody, Mike here, and today we are going to be talking about Transformers Earthspark. And you probably clicked on this video because you are someone like me who is an adult who likes Transformers and is wondering, is Earthspark worth my time? Of course, Transformers shows vary from being more adult-oriented, like the Netflix series, to be kind of like a middle ground with Transformers Prime, and then we have some more of the kiddie shows like Rescue Bots. So where does Earthspark fall, and how good is it? So if you just want that answer and nothing else, I'm going to tell you right now, my answer is going to be no. If you are an adult who likes Transformers, this show is probably not for you. And I will go into that in a little bit, but I am going to be starting out with the good of this show, and I'm going to turn into more of what I didn't like and why I don't think this will be something that a lot of Transformers fans will like. I do think it will be great for younger kids. I think they will totally love it. This is a great way to get them introduced into Transformers, but I don't feel that that's going to extend to people even in their teenage years and beyond. So let's go ahead and first start with the good, though. So there are very rare fight scenes in this show. However, when the fight scenes happen, they are super good. They are well choreographed and they just look awesome. There is especially, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory here, but there is a fight in the first episode that's just like almost right off the bat that is super well choreographed. I mean, it is a great fight, and it's definitely something that makes you think like, oh, this is going to be a pretty good show, and then it just kind of unfortunately goes downhill from there. But when there are fight scenes, they are done very well. Also, the animation is amazing. It's a huge step up even from Transformers Prime, which was great 10 years ago. It still looks great today, but this goes even further than Transformers Prime's animation, and it is really good and super impressive. Also, Soundwave is a highlight. Even though he does not appear much in the show, Soundwave is an awesome character, and it's just, I'm not going to go dive too deep into this because it delves into spoiler territory, but Soundwave is definitely a treat to see when he shows up. Also, of course, I'm sure many people know that Megatron is a good guy in this show. He is sided with Optimus Prime and the Autobots. I think it was a nice twist on his character. I do think that they did dive a little deeper in it than I thought they would have, just judging by the show's tone. However, I do wish they would have gone more into his turn to the Autobots, maybe have some flashbacks, maybe have him more, have what he did as a Decepticon impact his life more, but it was mainly surface level. They did slightly get into it once in a while, but not too often. Also, Alan Tudyk was a great Optimus Prime. Alan Tudyk actually appeared in Transformers Dark of the Moon as the character Dutch, so he's voicing a Transformer this time, and I think he did great. I think the voice fit Optimus Prime very well, and it was not trying to be a Peter Cullen impersonation, which is, I think, something that Transformers has struggled with whenever Peter Cullen is not Optimus Prime. It's like they get someone to be like, hey, you want to impersonate Optimus Prime's, Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime? And it just doesn't work out that well. It seems so forced. Alan Tudyk did a great job as Optimus. And then finally, the first two episodes started off pretty strong. I mean, not everything about the first two episodes were great, but the first two episodes are pretty decent, and I had some higher hopes that were just quickly squashed by episode 3. Then nothing really happens for a while. Episode 8 is pretty good, and then the opening of the finale is also very well done, and those are really only my highlights of the episode. So there are some good parts in there, but honestly, I would just try to find some YouTube videos, if they're even up. I'm sure Paramount is like really cracking down. They've really been cracking down on the Earthspark videos to the point where obviously I'm not even showing clips of Earthspark in this video because I'm scared that Paramount's going to come after me. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll still come after me just for showing screenshots. We'll have to see. But yeah, those are the highlights of Transformers Earthspark. Now, for the things that I did not like. First of all, just the lack of Transformers, period. I mean, I'm sure, yeah, sure, we can count the new Transformers, who they call Terrans, who were born on Earth. They are in the show throughout, but I mean, if you take them out of the equation, because they're kind of like diet Transformers, where they're not, it's like, it's almost kind of like Cogman in Transformers The Last Knight. Cogman is a Transformer, sure, but do I want to see Cogman throughout a 2-hour movie, or do I want to see like Optimus Prime and Megatron and Bumblebee and Ratchet and Ironhide and Barricade and all those Transformers? I'd much rather see them, but we get a lot of Cogman in The Last Knight. That's kind of how it is with Transformers Earthspark. We see a lot of the childlike Terran Transformers, and then we don't see much of Optimus Prime, Megatron. Bumblebee is probably who we see the most, and then we see an occasional Decepticon. So it's a Transformers show that's missing Transformers, which is kind of strange. Also, the kids, unfortunately, can get very annoying. It's like there are moments when they're okay, but it's just a typical thing with a lot of Transformers shows, with just the kids being annoying. I do think it would have been better if maybe they were teenagers or something, but they were definitely just, they acted very young. They acted like young kids, which is, I mean, it was accurate, I guess, but it's just not what I want to see. I kind of wish they would have a Transformers show where they would just have adults. I was expecting a Spike Witwicky cameo at some point, because they do have like a little flashback to show that this is kind of connected to G1, but it's not really connected to G1. So I was kind of, and the town is called Witwicky, so I was expecting some kind of cameo there, but there was nothing, unfortunately. The mom was okay. The dad could get a little annoying as well, but the kids were definitely very annoying. Also, that extends to the Earthborn Transformers, the Terrans. They also acted like kids throughout the show, because they are, technically. And they could get very annoying most of the time, actually. So it got old very quickly, unfortunately. Also, a small nitpick, there were some random frame rate drops at times, which is weird because the animation was so good, but there would be some times when it'd be like, oh, that went down to 10 frames per second there for a little bit, so that was strange. Also, the lack of a threat throughout most of this, it was mostly these spider drones controlled by a human throughout most of the show, and it was kind of boring. I mean, it was like, oh, it's those spider drones again, so that could get a little old. And then also the connection of the kids to the Transformers, because as you've seen in the trailers, they get that little glove on their hands, and they are connected to those Transformers that are born. It is strange, and it's kind of like, I know this is going to at least season 2. I'm interested in seeing, well, I mean, let's be honest, I know I'm not, but I guess theoretically it would be interesting to see how they would take that further, because it's kind of like, all right, are they going to be like that forever, and can they ever take these gloves off, because it seems like they can't. So it's like, is it wearing a cast where their arms are like disgusting underneath or something? I mean, like, that's literally what I was thinking when I was watching this show. It's definitely odd. It's like they went to school with these gloves on and no one questioned it. So you have to kind of like not think about it too much. Also, a lot of the episodes were just filler episodes, and this was only a 10-episode season, and really it was less than that because there were 2-parters, so there were only 6 regular episodes and then 2 two-parter episodes. And most of the episodes that weren't the 2-parters were filler, except maybe episode 8. So it definitely got boring at times, to the point where I was watching it just to leave this review and just to say I watched it. And that's definitely not the feeling I want to have when watching a Transformers show. And then finally, just that it was a bit more childish than I would have liked. Of course, this is a cartoon meant for kids. However, Clone Wars has shown me that you can do both. And unfortunately, that's not what this show has done, or maybe has even tried to set out to do. It has glimpses of cool things, but it's just not enough to sustain a full watch through all 10 episodes. In fact, like, some of the things that I like really rolled my eyes with, and I mean, I guess this is technically spoilers, but you know, it's nothing that you would care about. One episode, they were in a fight, and this was actually in episode 8, an episode which I, liked, a little bit. But there was just a part where they started singing, and that was helping them in the battle, and that was like a little like, come on, and it was a cool battle up to that point, and then they just started singing. And then also in episode 3, there was like a 70% focus in that episode on a baby cow, and it was after the first two episodes being okay, and then all of a sudden they're talking about the baby cow for most of the episode, and I'm thinking, am I watching a Transformers show, or am I watching just some like show for a 5-year-old? And really, that's what the show is kind of more tailored for. You're looking at maybe the 4 to 8 range for this show, if I had to say an age that matched who would enjoy this. And I'm not saying it's impossible for a adult Transformers fan to like this, especially if you do have a kid. It'd be nice to watch with your kid, but if you're just watching this alone, as someone who is a teenager or older, I'm banking on you not really enjoying this show that much. So if it was a Transformers Prime level of storytelling, this would be an incredible show, and I see so much potential with this animation and with the setup, especially with Megatron being on the side of the Autobots. I think that's a cool concept, but unfortunately the storytelling is just not there. It's very simplified, it's very childish, and it is well made. However, it's not for me, and I feel like it won't be for a lot of people unless they're a younger child. And so if you're looking for something a little bit more adult, go back and watch Transformers Prime. Go back and watch the Netflix series, because that's where you're going to get some enjoyment. If you're looking for something new, this is probably not it. So if you're like me, let's just look forward to Transformers Rise of the Beast coming out next year. Hopefully we'll be getting a trailer soon. I want to know, what do you guys think of the show? Did you like it? Do you disagree with me completely? Do you agree with some points but disagree with others? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's start a discussion. I'm interested in seeing what you guys have to say. And those are my thoughts on Transformers Earthspark. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and that notification bell as well. And I will see you all next time.